Commander Zara Okafor's breathing apparatus wheezed with each labored breath as she floated in the cramped emergency pod. The life support systems had been failing for 3 days now, ever since the Martian transport vessel New Horizon had suffered catastrophic engine failure in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. She was the only survivor. The evacuation had been chaos. Hull breaches, fires, and explosive decompression had claimed most of the crew before they could reach the escape pods. Zara had managed to launch in Pod 7, but the debris field from the ship's destruction had damaged her navigation systems and long-range communications. She was effectively invisible to any rescue operations. Through the small porthole, she watched the stars turn slowly as the pod tumbled through space. Earth was a pale blue dot somewhere behind her, growing more distant with each passing hour. Mars was equally unreachable, its red surface mocking her through the vast emptiness. She had maybe 18 hours of oxygen left, and the recycling system was producing more carbon dioxide than it could scrub. "This is Commander Okafor, Mars Colonial Defense Force." She transmitted on all emergency frequencies for what felt like the 1,000th time. Pod 7 New Horizon Incident. Anyone receiving, please respond. Life support critical. Static answered her, as it had for days. Zara closed her eyes and tried to conserve energy. She'd done the math. Repeatedly, no rescue ship could reach her position in time, even if they knew exactly where she was. The pod's emergency beacon had been damaged in the explosion, leaving her as just another piece of debris floating in the void. She thought about her daughter Sarah, back on Mars Colony Beta. 10 years old, brilliant at mathematics, with dreams of becoming a xenobiologist. Sarah would grow up without her mother, another casualty of humanity's relentless push into the solar system. The risks were always there, but someone had to take them for the species to survive and expand. The pod's computer chimed softly. Warning, life support at 15% capacity. Estimated time remaining, 16 hours, 43 minutes. Zara laughed bitterly. The computer was being optimistic. She was reaching for her personal tablet to record a final message for Sarah when something impossible happened. A shadow fell across the porthole. Zara pressed her face to the reinforced glass and gasped. A massive ship had appeared alongside her pod, not emerged from hyperspace or decloaked, but simply materialized as if it had been there all along. The vessel was unlike anything in the Colonial Defense Force database. Its hull was smooth, almost organic-looking, with surfaces that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. Strange symbols pulsed along its flanks with soft, rhythmic light. "This is the vessel song of distant shores," came a voice over her communication system. The words were in perfect English, but there was something unusual about the cadence, as if the speaker was translating from another language in real time. "Emergency pod, do you require assistance?" Zara's heart hammered against her ribs. In all of humanity's expansion into the solar system, they had never encountered another intelligent species. The implications were staggering, but her immediate concern was more basic. "This is Commander Zara Okafor," she managed. "My life support is failing. I have maybe 16 hours left." "Understood. Preparing emergency extraction. Please remain calm." A beam of soft blue light engulfed the pod, and Zara felt a gentle tugging sensation as her small craft was drawn toward what she assumed was a docking bay. The process was impossibly smooth, no violent jolts or mechanical grinding, just a seamless transition from open space to the interior of the alien vessel. The pod settled into a chamber that immediately began filling with breathable atmosphere. Through the porthole, Zara could see figures approaching, tall, graceful beings with elongated limbs and faces that were almost human but not quite. Their skin had a subtle luminescence, and their large eyes reflected the chamber's lighting with an inner radiance. The pod's hatch hissed open, and Zara cautiously stepped out. The gravity was slightly lighter than Earth normal, and the air tasted of ozone and something faintly sweet, like distant flowers. "Welcome aboard the Song of Distant Shores," said the nearest being. Up close, Zara could see that its vocal cords were supplemented by some kind of translation device at its throat. "I am Navigation Specialist HFY of the Wanderer Fleet. You were in significant distress." "Thank you," Zara breathed, still unable to believe what was happening. "You saved my life. But who are you? Where did you come from?" HFY's features arranged themselves in what might have been a smile. "We are travelers, like yourselves. We have been observing your species for some time as you spread across your star system. Most impressive for such a young civilization." "Observing us?" Zara felt a chill that had nothing to do with the ship's temperature. "Do not be alarmed," HFY said gently. "We do not interfere in the development of emerging species. It is against our most fundamental laws. But when we detected your distress signal, we faced a moral dilemma. To act would violate our non-interference protocols. To remain passive would violate our compassion protocols." Another being approached, this one wearing what appeared to be medical equipment. "Compassion 1, it said simply. As it should. Zara was led through corridors that seemed to pulse with their own life force. The ship's architecture defied conventional physics. Spaces that should have been cramped felt vast, and perspectives shifted in ways that made her eyes water. "We will return you to your Mars colony," HFY explained as they walked. "But we must ask something of you. Your people are not ready for formal contact with galactic civilization. Too much, too fast, often leads to social collapse in young species. You want me to keep this secret? For now, your species shows great promise, but you need time to mature. Perhaps in a few generations, when you have spread beyond your birth system, we will meet again under different circumstances." They reached what appeared to be a medical bay, where Zara was examined by beings who seemed to understand human physiology better than many human doctors. Her minor injuries from the evacuation were treated with devices that healed tissue at the cellular level. "There is something else," HFY said, as they prepared to return her to Mars. "Your daughter, Sarah. She has a remarkable mind. In time, she may be among those who help bridge the gap between our peoples." Zara stared at the alien being. "How do you know about Sarah?" "We have been watching, remember? Your family's genetic profile suggests strong potential for xenobiological adaptation. Sarah may be among the first generation of humans capable of true interspecies communication." Hours later, Zara found herself in a standard Colonial Defense Force rescue pod, drifting near Mars orbital traffic control. The official story was that she had been picked up by a routine patrol after her emergency beacon finally activated. Her personal logs showed nothing unusual, just the standard recording of a pod malfunction and eventual rescue. But in her pocket was a small device that HFY had given her. "When your species is ready," he had said, "this will help you find us again." As she looked out at the red surface of Mars, where her daughter waited, Zara smiled. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and somehow that made all the difference.